Because it worked when I tapped. It's just my slide tapped. It might be where you tapped.
We'd like to call to order the Tuesday, October 1st meeting of the Danville City Council. Roll call to establish a quorum, please.
Mayor Ricky Williams Jr.,
Present.
Alderman Ed Butler,
Present.
Heidi Wilson,
Present.
Carolyn Wands, James Bouchard,
Present.
Mike O'Kane, Bob Iverson,
Present.
Mike Poore,
Present.
Rick Streebing,
Here.
Sherry Pickering, Eve Ludwig,
Present.
Tricia Teague, present, Robert Williams,
Present.
Darren York,
Here.
John Cooper,
Here.
12 present.
12 present. We do have a quorum. We do not see Elder Dixon. Alderwoman Wands, would you be willing to offer the prayer for us this evening? At this time, we'll have the invocation led by Alderwoman Wands, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice Mayor Teague. Please rise.
Father in heaven, we're so grateful for the many blessings that you give us, and the ones that we know about and the ones that are unknown, because we know that you have all things within your hands, and the betterment of this community is in your hands, Lord. And we just pray that we make the decisions that is right for this community, that we might remember who we are working for, that we're working for you, yes, but we're also working for each member of this the citizens of this city. And Lord, I just pray that you be with each of us, that we might be discerning and that we might show our love for one another and show our love for this community. For it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Alderwoman. You have before you the minutes of the September 17th, 2024 meeting. Is there a motion to approve those?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. At this time, we also have the agenda for the evening. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate on the agenda? Roll call vote. Voice vote, please. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. We do have an agenda for this evening. I do not have any proclamations, board, committee, or personnel appointments, reports of boards, agencies, or commissions, but I do have a couple of items of information that I would like to share with you. First, I just want to let you know that 2 weeks ago, I attended a meeting with a contingency from Vermilion Advantage, including CEO Mike Marin, as well as Jody Ingram, the development director, as well as Tanya Hill, the DACC Foundation president, as well as Ross Darby, who is a vice president with TriGuard and Sunset Funeral Homes. And I just wanted to let you all know that it was a very productive meeting. We were able to meet with Congresswoman Kelly. I want to give an extra thanks to her staff. They were incredibly accommodating in helping us get across the Capitol. And as much as I know about politics and history, I did not know this. Although I knew that there were tunnels that led from one building to another under the building, I did not know that there is actually a little subway that will take you from place to place. So that was pretty cool that we got to ride that because we were with her staff. So I want to thank Congresswoman Kelly. I also want to thank Congresswoman Budzinski and Congressman LaHood. Even though they are in our district, we met with them to also garner letters of support for flood remediation. And I just also want to thank, of course, Senator Duckworth and Senator Durbin for batting for us and fighting for us. We really appreciate all of their efforts. It was a very productive meeting. We had some good conversations, and we got a lot of support. So I just want to thank them for everything that they did to make it possible. The second thing is I just want to remind everybody that we have our Glow 5K downtown this Friday night, and I hope that we will see some of you there. I'm excited because I'm actually going to be fit enough to run this year instead of barely walking, so I'm a praise report for that. That's all I have for you this evening. Madam Clerk, are there any petitions, communications, and audience comments?
Yes, we do have a few cards, Mayor. Did anyone else wish to speak this evening who has not filled out a yellow card yet? When I call your name, please come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. First, I have Marty Carroll of Danville regarding street access to parking.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Marty Carroll. I am the superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission for Vermilion County. My office is located at 123 North Hazel Street. The building is owned by Vermilion County, and I share those premises with the maintenance department for Vermilion County. I would like to call your attention, if I may, to a photocopy that I have here with me. If I would like, may I pass them around for you to see? Thank you very much. Sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, so. The improvements apparently that have been being made around the city streets have visited North Hazel Street. 123, if you're not very familiar with it, hopefully you all know where the bus terminal is located. So as you can see, it's somewhat in the diagram on this page, this side of the page rather, that the bus station would be back over here. The city of Danville owns the vacant lot that is outlined in blue. And then you'll see a property roof and a space to park up against the building outlined in yellow. The street improvements, if you look to the other side of the photos that I'm sharing with you now, on the other side here, historically, there had been a driveway off of Hazel Street to be able to access parking next to our building. And there was also a driveway to access the vacant lot that sits between the lot of our building and the bus station. When the improvements apparently have been made, the driveway was repaved and spiffied up, going to the vacant lot owned by the city of Danville. And the curb and sidewalk in front of 123 Hazel has been extended to the edge of the driveway of the lot owned by the city, thereby eliminating access to parking next to our building. So I'm here tonight asking why that was the case. Why was the access to our off-street parking eliminated, along with the improvements to Hazel? The on-street parking in front of the building that once existed has been replaced by an extension of the sidewalk, and apparently there are plans to plant some sort of vegetation in the space between the sidewalk and the edge of the roadway.
Thank you, Mrs. Carroll. I'll have to get with my team and we'll follow up with you tomorrow.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Meredith Ellis of Danville regarding animal waste policy.
Good evening, thank you. I have had an issue with a dead deer carcass that was hit early September on Denmark Road within the city limits. More than likely, it has any number of diseases, including Lyme disease. The parasites and fleas and ticks that were on this carcass have now disseminated into the scavengers and the other animals in the area and are now pretty well established around this whole area. I'm bringing up the Illinois Department of Agriculture, Part 90, because our landfill follows these guidelines. Also because I've been given incorrect information from the Department of Agriculture, Illinois Department of Natural Resources, and Vermilion County Animal Control. I was told multiple times that this has been a reoccurring issue for years. Illinois Department of Agriculture Act says that the animal needs to be removed within 24 hours by a licensed individual in a registered vehicle with a direct route to the landfill and covered while it's in transport. Now, Danville Public Waste tells me that they have a contract with Vermilion County Animal Control to deal with all their animal waste. However, they're not enforcing the contract. The animal is still there. there has been multiple phone calls to Danville Public Waste and to Vermillion County. Handing it off to another agency does not absolve them of any issue with animal waste. They are there to protect the public from waste and the diseases from the waste. Vermillion County Animal Control, I know that everyone knows that they are underfunded. They are understaffed, they have outdated equipment, and they are overwhelmed with just the live animals. Whether they can't or won't do the job is not the issue. The job isn't getting done is the issue. It falls back on the Danville Public Waste. Now, they've got a substantial budget. They have lots of equipment, numerous staff. They could easily register a truck, train and license a few employees, provide what other equipment they need. It's a horrible job. It is absolutely necessary. This is the core reason why Danville Public Works exists in the first place. I provided one possible solution. I realize the contract, Ricky tells me that it's a substantial contract, but that doesn't mean that they're absolved from their goal or their mission to take care of us. I was told by several people that this has been an ongoing problem for years. Public health is endangered, laws are being violated. It makes our city look horribly backward when basic functions are ignored. The fact that everyone is aware of it and it's not getting done needs to be addressed. That's my issue. I could go on for a good 20 more minutes on how I was treated, the passing of the buck, the misinformation that I've gotten from all these people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, Ricky tells me all I had to do is call his office, but I shouldn't have to. I called the proper agency, and they did not take care of it, and the deer carcass is still there.
Thank you, Mrs. Ellis. I will follow up with our public works staff, and we'll get animal control on it.
I have a question for Mrs. Ellis. When did you say, because we were just whispering about it, when did you say that the carcass first was there?
What?
When did it?
When was it? Early September.
September, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Doug Arns of Danville regarding truth and tax.
I'm sorry,
sorry.
Vice Chairman Iverson.
I've talked to Mrs. Ellis about the situation and talked to Dave Rui about the situation too. And we all know, any of us who have been here, that it's been ongoing for a long time. I know we have a contract with the county. I know the county's got some real problems, but the end result is we're not getting the services that we think we're paying for.
Exactly.
So we need to look at the whole procedure, I think, and see if there isn't some way the city can enforce it more. I know the county's in bad trouble with the animal control, but it's not being done, and we're spending money for nothing, and we really need to be looking at getting a different deal or doing it ourselves somehow. And I know Mr. Rui and I have talked about this, and he's aware of the problem. We just don't have one of the problems is you have to train somebody to dispose of animals. It isn't just one of the garbage department guys just can't come and get rid of it. But it's something we definitely need to look at.
May I
Thank
say
you, Vice
something?
Chairman. We'll follow up. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Can I say something?
I'm
But-
sorry.
Before you negotiate this, read Animal Waste Disposal Act, Part 90, and you will be able to find out exactly where the buck is getting passed, and, yeah, renegotiate the contract or something. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Doug Arns of Danville regarding truth and taxation and transparency.
Also had a couple examples to pass around. I'm here for 3 items this evening. As has been discussed before, the best decisions for our community are made when all citizens, as well as you elected officials, are fully informed and knowledgeable on all of the items that are to be discussed and decided. What you have on the first page is a copy of a document that was in every budget prior to the administration change. It gave us citizens as well as you elected officials, and maybe you get a different version of this that we're not allowed to see publicly. But this shows every fund and what the reserves are in every fund. We've heard a lot about reserves over the last several years and how much money is in all of them. But for whatever reason, this document disappeared from the budget as you see it there. If you look in your budget documents over the last several years, all you have are the middle three columns. It does not show what the reserves are to begin the year, and it does not show what the reserves are at the end of the year. If there is some other document that I'm not aware of that is made available on a monthly basis or more frequently to the public as well as to you, Alderman, it's relevant. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of money's been spent, and a lot of discussion about reserves, but there's been no factual documents presented that I'm aware of to confirm what that is, Mayor. So I'll be happy to meet with you at another time if there are documents that I'm not aware of. But this is a basic need as elected officials and as citizens to know where the funds are and how the money's being moved. We'll talk about the movement of money and original intentions at a later date, but I think that's something that's important as we begin another budget process. The second page of the document you have is a breakout, and I don't remember what year I pulled that out of, but it basically shows the distribution of property taxes. And as we all know, property taxes are a significant issue in this state and very much so in this community, including the inequity of property taxes throughout the community. The mayor's acknowledged that himself previously. But my question to you is have any of you been told what percentage of the total property tax your constituents are responsible for paying? Does anybody know that information? That's critical information that you should all have, in my opinion, because it's not anywhere close to balanced. You wouldn't expect it to be based on property values, but I can tell you during the time when I happened to serve for the city, the numbers are staggeringly unbalanced. And I believe, and others may as well, that that's part of the reason why we've lost population. Our property taxes are too expensive. Lastly, I'll wrap it up very quickly, Mayor, is I've seen the tax levy schedule. I'm disappointed you don't have a budget here on October 1st when it's a large budget. Secondly, on the tax levy schedule that I saw from July, I believe it was, there wasn't a single session where a resident or business owner is allowed to speak more than 3 minutes. And so I'd like to know, is there gonna be a meeting where people can actually give meaningful input and share information they may have and feel differently? Because 3 minutes doesn't get it. Not a single study session was listed, nor, as we're seeing, are we allowed to go beyond 3 minutes. Thank you all.
Thank you, Director Arns.
PJ of Danville, who is interested in changing her street name.
Hello, everyone. I am PJ, and yes, you are correct. I am interested in changing the street of which I live on. I am the only one that lived there. It is a dead-end street, and I like the opportunity to change it to the name that I would like it to be. And I think I can give you back the other 2.5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bourne.
Karen Schild of Danville regarding immigration.
Good evening, and I will be brief also. My name is Karen Schild, and there's no mechanism to respond to what we've heard at the last meeting, so that's really all I'm here to do, is to respond to what was said at the last meeting, well, a portion of it. God helps those who help themselves. That's not in the Bible. Algernon Sidney said that in 1698, and Ben Franklin copied it in 1736. Cleanliness is next to godliness. That's not in the Bible either. Although they do have a lot about health and hygiene, because the ancient Jews were very worried about that. But that actually came from John Wesley. People can find a passage or a verse to support about any position they choose, and they don't hesitate to take it out of context to prove their point. Last meeting, at least 2 people quoted Bible verses to condemn immigrants to our country. They said the Bible says to take care of your own people first. That's not in the Bible. There are at least 22 passages addressing immigration and immigrants and how Christians are expected to treat them. The only topic that is more discussed is the poor and how we are to treat them. There are several verses about caring for your own family or people, but none of them say provide for all of their needs before you provide for foreigners or immigrants. Nothing should preclude us offering food, comfort, safety, shelter, and welcome to immigrants. Thank you, Alderman Wilson, for confronting falsehoods that popped right up at this very microphone. I understand that housing and our infrastructure in Danville is not ready for an influx of immigrants today, but I find it infuriating that some are willing to repeat lies and disinformation about entire groups of people based on their fear of other, and the false information offered by some, especially politicians. If you want to bully us with Bible verses, you should be sure you get them right. I think right now Jesus would be cringing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Schilt.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. We do not have any zoning petitions. I just would like stated for the record that you can see in 2010, our tax rate was 1.9746, and it is currently 1.913580. So we currently have the lowest tax rate that we've had in at least 15 years. I would need to go back further to see if it's been lower at any other time. So I just want to make sure we have that in the record. You have before you the payrolls of September 20th and 27th. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Pashard,
Yes.
O'Kane, Iverson,
Yes.
Hoare,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering, Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. We also have for you the vouchers payable of September 24th, as well as special runs from September 24th, 27th, and 30th of 2024. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman O'Kane, Iverson,
Yes.
Hoare,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering, Ludwig,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Bashard,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries. At this time, we will receive our Public Services Committee report. Chairman Streebing.
Good evening. Puts us to item 11A, to accept and place on file the Treasury Report for May of 2023. You probably all received that in your packets. I know the group that was here last week, we had a hard copy. Was there any questions on the Treasurer's Report that he gave us?
Chairman, do you make a motion to accept?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I'll make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I'll need a second, please.
Second.
Now, is there any questions on the Treasurer's Report that he gave us?
Nice to have it.
It's nice to have it. Yes, it is. And I believe we're going to get that on a monthly basis from here on out. So that's a good thing. So if there's no, yes.
Oh, no.
Any questions? If not, I guess roll call, please.
No, it's placed.
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor of accepting and placing on file the Treasury Report signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And I will say thank you very much for all your hard work, your office as well as finance. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. I'd like to take 11B and C together because they're just about the same. They're just one or two different, they're probably a year or two difference on the cars. I make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I'll need a second, please. Take both 11B and C together.
Second.
Is there any questions on 11B and C? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
Strebing?
Yes.
Pickering? Ludwig?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
O'Kane? 12 yes.
12 yes, thank you. The motion carries. Puts us to item 11D. We have a resolution approving the submission of the 2024 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance JAG grant application. I make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I will need a second, please.
Second.
Is there any questions on the resolution 11D? Yes,
Didn't we just do this, or is that?
it just
the
seems like
next
it.
year?
It just seems like it, yes.
Chairman, I think.
Yes, Chief?
Every year we put in for it, and every year you have it. And how it's set up is you have the fiscal year that you get it, as well as they all overlap. So the 24 fiscal year runs into 20,
Calendar year
24, 25, 26, that you can be reimbursed for it. So we'll be putting in for the 25, and then that'll go to 27, and so on. So it does seem a lot. And same thing with the STEP grant, which is next.
Yeah, I knew it had been more recent than a year, and I should have known when I worked for the U of I, we had 3 different dates when the fiscal year started, so I should have thought on.
And that's a federal fiscal year. So you get, like with a lot of our, we have our fiscal year, and then you got the state fiscal year, then you got the federal fiscal year. So they get confusing, especially like the STEP grant, to, anticipate similar questions. That's what, June 30th, or I'm sorry, July 1st through June 30th. And that's another one that it sort of builds, but we spend that that's 1 year. That's a 1-year term. So is a Byrne grant, but.
Any other questions on 11D's resolution? If not, roll call, please.
Chairman Poor?
Yes.
Chairman Strebing?
Yes.
Alderman Pickering? Ludwig?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
O'Kane? Iverson?
Yes.
12 yes.
Yes, thank you. The motion carries. Puts us to 11E, a resolution authorizing the application and acceptance of Illinois Department of Transportation IDOT Sustained Traffic Enforcement Program STEP grant. I'll make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I'll need a second, please.
Second.
Is there any questions on 11E? If not, roll call, please.
Chairman Strebing?
Yes.
Alderman Pickering? Ludwig?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
O'Kane? Iverson?
Yes.
Poor?
Yes.
12 yes.
Thank you. The motion carries. Puts us to 11F. We have a resolution authorizing budget amendment FY 2024 through 25, the American Rescue Plan, budget number 705. I'll make the motion to approve and dispense with the reading and ask for your approval. I will need a second, please.
Second.
Is there any questions on 11F's resolution?
Yes, I have a
Yes.
question.
Alderman Butler.
Was this, I see that it was amended, in some of the articles. I just have some concerns. I don't know if this is the right time or it might be too late or whatever. We have been having a lot of discussions about the homeless. And since we amended, I think it was $500,000 there that we kind of broke up and did divvy out there to different areas. And I don't know if it could be done again there, but the people kind of touched my heart there here this past month about our homeless people. And as I look through that whole budget item of the $24 million here that we spent, we never did do anything for the homeless. And I was just wondering if we would take the half of that $170,000 and do something. We have some old homes that we might could fix up, or even a mission. you give some of that money there to the missionaries that they're trying to rebuild or revitalize for the homeless. And that is my concern, that because the whole purpose that I believe, well, I don't believe, the whole purpose of that ARPA money, if people hadn't died because of COVID, so we never would have gotten that money. And I felt that the reason why we got that money was to help the people that were losing their loved ones, that were having a rough time in life. They got the COVID, they couldn't get out and get food because they were ordered to stay in if they had COVID. And of course, IDPH got certain groups to help people that was in dire straits, that needed funding, that couldn't get out and work. And I just didn't see anything to where that our city, contribute to that effort with that ARPA money. And I would just like to see if it would be amended again to take at least that $170,000 that's allotted for the park. The park is closed, and I'm sure that we're not going to have any more renovation out there until the spring. That during that time that we can find some more funding, like we do for everything else, and we find funding for whatever. That we would take half of that at least, do something for our people that is struggling because winter is coming, and these people need somewhere to go. That is my comment.
Thank you, Alderman Butler. Mayor, you want to say anything?
But I would only say that I've been working very hard with the rescue mission behind the scenes to get them where they need to be. There are a lot of fundraising efforts that are going on, and while I've informed them that we cannot help them pay old bills, I don't think I could look the taxpayers in the face and say, hey, we're gonna help pay back bills. What I did tell them is that moving forward, once they get their bills paid off, that I do believe that there's something we might be able to do in terms of helping them with the building and such. And we are going to be taking a tour again in a couple of weeks, and I will likely be bringing you something in the future, but not from the ARPA funds. That money has already been allocated, and it has to be substantially obligated by the end of this fiscal year, which means we have to award contracts for it. So we already have a lot of projects in place. Alderman Butler and work will be continuing on Garfield Park over the winter time. For example, they're going to continue to do leveling. They're going to continue to do grading to improve drainage. They're going to be working on the football field. They're going to be putting down sidewalks and things like that. So I do believe that there is something that we might be able to do to help the rescue mission. Absolutely, I don't think it should come from these funds because of the time frame that we have to do and because we already have projects underway that we need to complete.
Is there any other questions on 11F resolution? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman Pickering? Ludwig?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
York?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Butler?
No.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
O'Kane? Iverson?
Yes.
Four?
Yes.
Streebing?
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, the motion carries. Puts us to item 11G, items of information. I don't really have anything. John, do you have something for us?
Yeah, I got a question. This is probably Lisa or Ricky might be able to answer. How many liquor licenses do we have available?
Liquor licenses?
Alderman Cooper, we'd probably have
Are
to
you
get back.
talking about a Class A, the bars, or package, everything?
Probably the bars, gambling. This gambling thing,
Okay.
like this Debbie's, or we just put one over at the mall too, didn't we? We got a gaming parlor over there too.
In Town Center.
Yes.
Well, they haven't been issued their final license yet. have they?
Correct. It's pending the Illinois Gaming Board, but they did get a liquor license from us. It's like a temporary liquor license until they get their video gaming hall license after they're approved from the Illinois Gaming Board. They're probably going to be approved in October.
Okay, is there additional licenses of those available or not?
We have 4 Class A liquor licenses available right now. 16 out of
That's
20.
for bar or restaurant. Did you mean gaming, Alderman Cooper?
Well, okay, this place on Vermillion, I've already been getting calls on it. I'm not gonna be able to go to the planning and zoning. I've got a football game, but, is that a gaming thing up there they're putting up there, or is it, what is it? Anybody know?
They would have to get a video gaming rider because they're wanting to open a bar. We have 1 available, video gaming rider.
But we do have a couple, do we still have some waiting at the state level, Madam Clerk, to?
Not for a rider, just for the hall. There's 1 waiting for the hall, yes.
Okay.
And then we will not have any more for the video gaming halls. That will be.
Up where that,
The
right
dance
by
place.
Dunkin' Donuts up in that area,
Where they're cheerleading and all that to train that building.
Oh, they're putting a gaming place there?
They want to try to, yes. They would have to have, I believe, a special use permit and such. So that's something that would come before us for a decision. And I've already heard from a number of people that don't support it, and I understand and agree.
Well, I agree with it too, and I don't like it either, but can we, or should we cap how many we have in town of those things,
We do have a cap right currently. We put that in
33.
place. It's
Of the
33.
gaming places, I'm talking about that Debbie's and this.
Oh, the video gaming halls.
Right.
Yes.
We did cap those. We have 10. We capped those at 10.
How many we got, or are we at the 10 level, or?
Well, almost, probably by the end of the month. So we're currently 9 with licenses and 1 pending at the gaming board.
Because I thought that Deb's was the last one. That after that there would be no more, and all of a sudden now we have.
Then you get one over there.
Which
huh?
Deb?
Gilbert.
Well, no, but there's now one in Town Center.
Yeah.
That's the one I asked about.
Debbie's
They spoke
2 is
the
what it's
second
called.
location.
Yes, there's one in Town Center now. That's the one I just asked about at Public Services. Was it last week? I
Last
think
week,
I asked.
yes.
Yes. So we have one opening in town. We have one on Vermillion, which we thought was the last one, but now we've got one coming in Town Center, and now possibly another one coming on North Vermillion.
I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, which one on Vermillion are you
No,
speaking
Gilbert.
to?
Deb's on
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Debbie's is on Gilbert.
That Deb's is on Gilbert.
And now there's one in Town Center.
Yeah, but that was the last one I thought we were giving.
On Gilbert.
Yeah.
But now there's one in Town Center.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought it was capped already, and that was the last one, and there was a waiting list. Now, what's a rider?
It is, Chairman, it is capped. And we still have the one that's pending at the state, and the one in Town Center is the one that's pending at the state, right?
Yeah, this was never supposed to be this way.
Right. And so at the point that the one opened, Clerk Monson, maybe you can remember the time frame when the one opened on Gilbert. Did we lose some
Last spring.
Okay, so last spring, did we lose some between then and now, so that opened a slot?
I don't believe so. I think maybe where the confusion might be coming in is when we amended the liquor ordinance, we did have video gaming, the bars and the halls were all together. We just had video gaming licenses, and we've had the cap at 33 for, I believe,
Several years.
Yes, so then when we changed the liquor ordinance, it came to where we decided there were only going to be 10 video gaming halls and 23 of the video gaming riders. That's if you already have a bar or a restaurant and you're able to get a rider. So we were trying to limit, I believe, was what the council was trying to do, limit the video gaming halls. So no, there hasn't been any. I mean, I can give you a more detailed report, of who all has received a video gaming hall since the new ordinance went into place. That
Madam
was
Clerk,
July 1st.
We've had several pending at the state, though, for close to a year, haven't we? And we included those that were pending in our numbers. So these, except for the one in Town Center, were ones that were already pending.
Yes, we had Danville Gaming Corps, which is 510 North Vermillion. They're the old Mach, I believe it's Mach 1.
Yeah.
Used to be. They just got theirs. They were pending, but they just received theirs.
Okay, the question I have is, that place on North Vermillion, is that fall into this category? Is it going to be like this? They're just going to run a bunch of gambling machines and get a pour license? Is that what they're?
They're wanting to have a bar and get a video gaming writer.
So a writer is just an add-on for a bar?
Or a restaurant as well, Vice Mayor.
I
But
knew-
that will come before you all for a vote. So if it's something that you do not support, you will be able to voice your opinion. And if it's something that your citizens don't support, you'll be able to voice your opinion by voting for or against it if it comes through Planning and Zoning Commission.
Like John said, I've already got people calling me against it, but they were just against the fact that it was gonna be a bar.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it was also gonna be video
Gaming,
gaming,
yeah.
which I'm sure will not make it any more popular in the neighborhood.
Is this a off branch of the casino?
No, no.
These are the gaming parlors that are all up all over the place, like in the gas stations and in the liquor stores. And, you know, one of the things that has been said previously was that we don't want to turn it into whatever the name of that town is, and It's a Wonderful Life. And
Pottersville.
thank you. And that is what it feels like. It
Right.
feels like we're becoming Pottersville.
This was never the way the law was written. It's supposed to have been veterans, fraternal, truck stops, and retail. Bars, basically. That was it. And all of a sudden, there's laundromats, florist shops everywhere. I mean, it's crazy.
Not in Danville laundromats,
No.
thankfully, because but that's why we put a limit on it so that we wouldn't get any more. And we still have the same limit that we instituted several years ago. So,
You can have a refrigerator with some beer in it, get a liquor license, that you're considered, since you have a liquor license, you can get video gaming.
Oh, yeah, but the city have to approve.
We have.
And then plus it seemed like if there would be more of a competition to the casino. That's what I'm thinking.
that's Alderman Butler. I think it wasn't for me, but I know that that's a reason some other people voted to limit it too, as well. But also the biggest reason was that people don't want them on every corner. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I hear from our constituents all the time that they don't want these everywhere. So that's why we did put a limit on the number of them.
It started with the Mach 1 on Gilbert Street when they sectioned off a little portion of their convenience store between the bar or their packaged liquor and the convenience store and put in, that was our first one we did.
They put up boxes to block it.
Yeah, because I kind of feel kind of boxed in, you know, within my own city. You know, I'm old school, I guess. As far as, you know, here our city is turning into, I would say, call it Sin City. You know, we got dispensaries, we got gambling, casino, and then, man, what's next? I mean, we're gonna have some other clubs.
Going back to the way it was in the early days.
So just a little clarification, we do have tavern licenses available, and you say there's 4?
Yes.
And then betting parlors, how many of them we got available at?
We have one video gaming writer, and by the end of this month, we'll have 0 video gaming halls. We have 9 video gaming halls with current licenses, but there's a license pending at the Illinois Gaming Board, and I believe they're on the agenda for October, so they'll get approved this month. So that'll take us to 10 within a couple of weeks, probably.
Which is our maximum.
Yes.
So they're going through zoning for the B3 classification, or what are they trying to do in zoning?
I apologize, Administrator Kronk is not with us this evening, and he can provide you better details on that. So I'll ask him to follow up on his return with y'all.
Is that it, John? For now. Okay. Is there any other questions or?
Just for clarification, so are you planning, Clerk Monson, to send out more details concerning this, just numbers or whatnot? And if so, will there also be included like who closed and then made licenses available?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And their real names, of who owns them.
All right, we're at items of information right now. Yes, you have anything?
No.
No?
No, this, we'll say, we over here conversating here.
Okay.
So, I asked you a question. Yes, how is the bank coming? Longview Bank?
We had a call with them. I can tell you, Corporation Council has been working closely with them as well as our Public Works team, and as far as I know, we're on track now. If there's something different, they haven't told us otherwise.
Okay, so we are on track.
Yeah, we've been meeting with Longview and their team. You're talking about the site up north near Walmart. Yeah, we've been meeting with them after we had Mr. Albin appear here at our last council meeting. I've spoken with their contractor, Mr. Moffett. I've spoken with Mr. Albin, Mr. Chandler, their president, and their consultant. And we've had a Zoom conference which included our Public Works Director, Mr. Rui, Community Development Administrator, Mr. Kronk, Assistant City Engineer, Eric Childers, and Building Inspector, Mr. Stahl. And we've gone over everything. I've looked at the correspondence that have gone between our city team that I just mentioned and Longview that's occurred over the past few months, and it's been pretty clear and extensive, and explained to them exactly what needs to happen. I think what was taking place is there's a difference between the size of the community that the bank had built previous branches in and Danville, where smaller communities may not necessarily have an ordinance that has to be followed. Danville does. We have federal guidelines that we have to comply with. The Illinois EPA gets involved to monitor. So there are some very specific things that need to happen. I think everybody's on the same page now, and in fact, their contractor just reached out just yesterday, and we're planning to get the Danville team together and meet out at the site to go over some things, some options. And I think it was very productive to have Director Rui and Administrator Kronk, City Engineer Eric Childers, and the Building Inspector all to be involved last week in discussing this. So I think it's very clear what needs to happen at this point.
Yeah, okay, but you don't know when this meeting is gonna take place?
I'm sorry?
So you don't know when the meeting is gonna take place out at the site?
Yeah, they reached out and I got back to them, said we're all available, and I've requested that they give us a date and a time, and then we'll coordinate that. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Yeah, okay, because I'm really interested in, I would hate to lose the bank. I mean, it's something positive,
Yes.
To have a bank and, instead of coffee shops and car washes and gaming clubs, it's about time we getting something positive that we can probably invest our money in if the interest rate is right. And I'd like to know when that meeting is, if at all possible, Council.
Yeah, I can certainly, as soon as I hear back from them, I could let everybody be aware of when that's going to take place.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I do know I was up by there the other day, and the lot has been cleaned off of all the lumber and all the poles that were in. It's
right. It's all cleaned off.
Yeah, it's all cleaned
Grass
up.
cut and everything. Yeah.
Anybody else have items of information? Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question, and I don't know if she's still here, and I don't have that's the only name I didn't write down. The lady who spoke about the property on Hazel Street. Yeah. My question is, because I just glanced at the picture and realized something, that there's a dumpster on your lot. Have you lost access to having your garbage picked up? Okay, I just happened to see it in the picture. And so I wanted to ask that question because it struck me. So obviously it's about more than just parking. It's also about your location being able to have normal function. And that is a serious concern. Thank you.
Our access has been impeded for those of us who work there, as well as any veterans that would need to come to my office for services. And several of the veterans that come rely on traveling by public transportation. And several veterans also need to use apparatus for ambulation, so wheelchairs and walkers and so forth. The project as it has completed to this point has very much interfered with that.
And so there's no access at all from Hazel Street?
Not to 123 North Hazel, my building. No, sir.
You're right, I know where your building is, yeah.
Access that was carved out, and I have a photo on my phone, but unfortunately I couldn't print it out for everyone. The access off of Hazel Street is into the vacant lot that's owned by the city of Danville. There is what appears to have been a rock wall or perhaps a foundation of a building that may have existed on that vacant lot at one time. There's the remnants of that exists as somewhat of a border between that vacant lot and the space beside our building that we use to park on, but it's very rough to try to travel over. The alleyway behind the bus station to try to come in behind our building, it has not been maintained in many, many years, and so that path is uneven and has a lot of broken concrete, a lot of drop-offs and potholes and so forth, and so it's pretty treacherous. It would be even for a 4x4 vehicle to travel. I have gotten my vehicle over it a few times, but it's very treacherous, and I'm concerned for my tire safety. So,
Don't our engineers and guys kind of work coincide, since this is our city?
Well, number one, the building she's referring to is the old modern machine building.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the old modern machine that the county bought, put a lot of money into. That area next to it was never a parking lot. That was an old building foundation and slab. So that's why there's no access. Then the city's part butts to it. But yeah, I mean, you're basically parking on an old foundation of a building that stood there next to it, but there was never a parking lot per se. It's being used as parking, but it's a building, as you said, the foundation you can still see of the old building that was there, but that was taken down by the county and just left the slab.
there was always a driveway into the space.
Right.
Everyone, I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm not sure what happened, but we will look into it. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We will look into it, and until we have more information, I can't speak about it intelligently. We need to investigate. So we will look into it and do everything that we can to resolve this satisfactorily.
All right, Mayor, I think that concludes our report.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Chairman Poor.
I'll be short. Here next Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Might have a little helper with me, but we have my granddaughter for a whole week, picking her up Saturday.
Good.
But anyway, Dave, anything?
Nope.
One question I did have, the Kirshner property and things, is there some issue with drainage or not having a detention, it's gonna be a detention pond or something in the ground, or?
Not that I'm aware of currently. I would have to look into that and get back with you.
I was in there today and they said that was a holdup, because we don't have, our engineer we don't have an engineer to stamp.
We do have engineers that can stamp approval.
They
They
said it was
haven't.
drainage. I said, no, I think that's all been resolved, but
What they intend to do, what they've always told us, Chairman, is that they intend to put an underground detention pond, just like we have at the casino and a couple other sites, Carl, so that they can use every bit of developable space. And that's the last thing that.
so that's what the holdup is, them making a decision on what they're gonna do.
I don't know what the decision is, but I can assure you this, we aren't held back based on our staff, our current
Okay.
staff.
Okay.
I can assure that.
Yeah, so otherwise,
Chairman.
what you're saying that there's two types of, retention ponds, underground
Yes, sir.
and a big hole.
The traditional ones, like you see, yes, sir, out in Eastgate and Southgate, those are traditional, that it looks like a small pond or lake, and then underground where it's,
Like Danville High School's
yes, that's right.
parking lot is what.
The parking lot at Danville High School,
You
the
also got
casino.
one out at the Housing
Main Street
Authority.
goes-
The Housing
The
Authority.
Housing Authority's got one, they've had for years.
It drains into the ground instead of, so it disperses underground instead of having. a
You're
hole.
right.
It's a lot safer, as you know. Unfortunately, some years ago, we had a couple of young babies that drowned out there on East Voorhees Street in a
Yep, I know you
detention
did.
pond. And it also allows you to use more of your space for development, and they want to use every bit of it, essentially, for their storage lot, Mr. Butler.
And so what you're saying is then that retention pond that's on the north side, the football field is a big hole there. And so that's feasible for a high school area where there's kids around.
Mr.
Well, the
Butler,
new one.
I could not speak to what they've done, have or haven't done at the high school. I know that they applied for permits and went through processes, but I couldn't speak to that.
Yeah, but there's a retention pond there on the north side.
Keep all
I
that water
believe-
running off that concrete, off that concrete
Right.
field.
Since it's not grass anymore, they gotta have a place for the water to
It'll be
go.
grass in
That's
5
right.
years. We'll be tearing it out.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate you. Are there any items of information for the good of the cause?
Oh, yes, my wife, she was thankful for that, the fair, the carnival, the fair that was here. She finally got her elephant ear. I tell you, I had a wonderful weekend because she was all smile.
There you go. Oh, that, what you're talking about down the Vermillion
Down
Fall
at
Festival?
Ellsworth Park, yes, and she found that place.
Oh, yeah.
Any other items of information for the good of the cause? Yes, Chairman.
Don't we have a groundbreaking ceremony Thursday?
The third.
Thank you for the reminder. Yes, this Thursday at 9:30 at the northwest corner of Vermillion and Fairchild Streets, we will have the groundbreaking for finally for the Sonic and Jimmy John. So excited for that, and hope you all will be able to enjoy us that evening. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get in trouble with half price happy hour,
No.
cherry limeade. So, any other items of information?
They also have diet cherry limeade. You and I hit that one.
Yes, we do. I apologize. We do have the need to go into closed session briefly. At this time, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session under Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss specific employees, and under Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss salary schedules and collective bargaining matters. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Just so the public will know, there will be no action or votes taken after this. There will be no action or votes taken after this. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Ludwig.
Yes.
Teague.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Cooper.
No.
Butler.
Nope.
Wilson.
I guess.
Wands.
Yes.
Bouchard.
Yes. That's my man.
O'Kane. Iverson.
Yes.
Orr.
You strapping
Yeah.
Streebing.
Yes.
10 yes.
10 yes. We are adjourned to closed session. I believe we will be.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Having satisfied the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Have a great week, y'all.
Thank
Yes, sir.